There's nothing more beautiful than finding a friend who you eventually get to live with. Anyone gets this as the slightest or faintest of the opportunity, grab it by all arms.
The friends and the connections that we made during our MBA journey is something that lasts forever.
Hello, listeners. Welcome to Echoes After EOD, where we deep dive into stories of career journeys, life experiences, and the unique moments that shape who we are. Today, we have a very special episode featuring two successful corporate professionals, Nitin Samanta and Disha Waghela. Not only are they alumni from my college, but they are also a husband and wife team who found love during their MBA journey. So let's get to know them, learn from their journeys, and see how they have balanced life and careers together. Welcome, Nitin and Disha. Thank you for joining the call.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for the opportunity and very glad to be here.
So, guys, both of you graduated from SPJMR in the information management background in 2019. Can you guys share a bit about your MBA journey and what was the experience like for each of you?
We started off with the first year in which we had all the specializations. Although the first year was very stressful and hectic with endless assignments and competitions and whatnot, but I think there may not be a lot, but whatever I have been able to apply in my current job is mostly from my second year. And one more thing is that the friends and the connections that we made during our MBA journey is something that lasts forever.
The blend of experiences that we have in the batch and the kind of stories that stayed. Doesn't matter who gets what out of the campus here, but what matters will be this network. I remember very clearly back in those days, we were all sitting in the Audi for those 4 days of the placements. I don't really remember anyone overly expressive of how happy they were till the entire batch got placed. That stayed with me, That's very unique of SP, and I'm absolutely proud of it. These qualities that our institution sort of imbibes, talent that it brings in, the blend, the culture, the experiences, it's unique. I don't think any B school in the country currently is doing that.
Completely agreed. Like what you both mentioned as well. When I look back at the college journey, I remember the experiences and the moments, like moments of camaraderie, right? When you are with the folks and then you get in touch with them post college as well, and those remain your lifelong friends. And what you mentioned, Nitin, after each one of the person got placed, till that time, no one celebrated their own placement. Guys, you two found each other during your MBA, and I'm sure that that's a story which many of our listeners would also love to hear. And a lot of MBA folks strive for that dynamics as well during their MBA program. So, can you tell us a bit about how you guys met and what drew you to each other during the day?
So in the first year, we used to have 3 divisions. I don't know how it is now. And we were both in Div B. For some reason, we never really spoke to each other. The way we first got talking is kind of interesting. We had a 3-week course in Carnegie Mellon for which the entire batch had traveled. During that course, we were randomly allocated seats. My seat was allocated right next to his. That's when we got talking between classes and all. During that time, there was a small friendship that was brewing. And then it was during Diwali vacation when Nitin had messaged me. And then again, we started talking, and then that changed into dating. Within a year, we decided to get married as well.
For me, that's the biggest takeaway from my MBA. I remember, one evening we were just walking around the campus. The campus not big. We realized that we were very very hungry because we had walked too much, and it was like 4 a.m. in the morning. That's why I love Mumbai, because at any point of time in the day you have food somewhere. So I went closer to Juhu. Cycle wala subah subah na tha, there was this anda pav being served. So that was essentially our first date. Many memories, many stories, and there's nothing more beautiful than finding a friend who you eventually get to live with. The best thing is both of us kind of understand each other's work, and that's a blessing, I would say. So anyone gets this as the slightest or faintest of the opportunity, grab it by all arms.
Yeah. No, that's really
Yeah, and
special.
what's also great is that it's really nice to share common memories and common things to talk about from that uh, time period. So there's a lot that we can relate to.
Right. Like having a life partner with the same experiences as yours is definitely a blessing. And you two seem like a great couple as well. On screen, a very good couple. So congratulations, guys.
Thank
Thank you.
During the end of my first year, right, there were some seniors whom I talked to, and they said we were just talking about placements. तो उन्होंने बोला placements मिल जाएगी. Focus on relationships. That is like very difficult from getting a placement through this college. वो सबकी हो जाती है. तो हम सबको रीडायरेक्ट कर दिया कि हमारे एफर्ट्स नेक्स्ट 2 to 3 months में कहीं और गए थे. And Nitin also said, right, grab it by both arms if such an opportunity comes. So I think that's for our listeners as well, that अगर ऐसा opportunity होता है तो get it, to will benefit from MBA, not just the placements, right? Now, quickly moving from the MBA experience to post MBA experience. So, can you tell us about the career path since your MBA and what initially drew to your respective fields?
When I got into the specialization, there was this course by Mr. Sunil Lakdawala. I don't know if he still takes that course. Essentially, a course on data mining and business analysis. I think that uh, kindled an interest that this is where I would want to sort of build my expertise. Post that, when I was picked up by Unilever, we basically had to go through a rigorous management training program, which basically puts us into the different functions. But in every function where I was essentially doing a project, I would find a way to show my analysis based on data. Yeah, and that pattern was something that was picked up by the directors in Unilever, and they figured that I have a knack for telling stories through data, and hence they put me into data center of excellence within Unilever. It was sort of a dream come true because I was essentially doing what I always wanted to do. From there, I was put in charge of the Southeast Asian markets, taking care of the secondary sales data and drawing insights, how to do targeted promotions more and more, how to get more return on investment. That's pretty much been my journey during and post MBA.
Awesome. Thanks, Nitin. What about you, Disha?
I was interested in digital marketing. So, in your early in your career, when you're deciding between lots of different streams like science or engineering and all. So, one of the things that I used to be interested in was human psychology. I found a little bit of that element in digital marketing because you need to understand your consumers, you need to know what's going on in their minds and not necessarily manipulate them, but you can then better cater to their needs. So I'm currently working as a business consultant for the Experience Cloud projects within Adobe.
That's amazing. I think a common thread in both of your answers were then at least you know one trigger, right, when you chose your field. But what I have noticed in my MBA is that many a times people are not clear where they want to be. And they get attracted by the fact that, okay, which company is coming first to campus, which are day zero companies, what is the package of the companies. And normally it happens that they tend to go into different companies and then find that, okay, the reality is different as what they envision it to be. And then they are not probably a right fit in that career. So, considering this thought process after your experience as well, what would you like to tell those people who are looking for jobs in the MBA college right now? That should they be more agnostic towards its selection, or should they have certain criteria in mind when they are going after a company?
It's absolutely okay to be confused at the beginning. Fortunately for both of us, we did not do a mapping of a particular role with a company, and which I've seen a lot of people do. I mean, it's good to have that mapping, it's good to have that clarity. It's definitely good to have a dream job, a dream company, a dream role. But if that does not fit the bill, when you eventually get placed in a company, it's not the end of the world, because there's lots of opportunities once you get into a company in terms of what exactly is it that you're good at, to find that fitment, understanding the industry, and getting to know what that company does well. They chose you because they saw something in you that would add value to the company.
I think I totally agree. Just maybe a couple of points to add to that is that when we start off, we are very confused. You might think that this is the area that I am interested in and I, do wonders in it. But it may not be true. Maybe you will find out as you work on something that there's something else which you can be better at, which you find more interesting.
So in a nutshell, basically, it's okay to be confused. And that is a very common thread across all the people who are doing their MBA. But at the same time, there are a lot of opportunities, right? Which you have to actively scout for and not become too comfortable if it is a non-fitment. Also, like, I wanted to understand what are the rewards and challenges in your respective fields.
For me, in terms of the rewards, especially being in the technology space, I think we are kind of in the midst of those buzzwords which are essentially shaping the economy as of today. For example, generative AI. The kind of projects that I'm working on currently, they're essentially creating semantic YAML layers on top of which you can, spin any kind of large language models and have the data answer your questions directly instead of looking at some dashboard or some flashy visualization. You just ask, pinpointed questions. So it creates a lot of visibility, but at the same time, creates expectations. That's just one small leadership tip that I've picked up in the 5, 6 years.
That makes a lot of sense. And what happens during our job is that sometimes I feel I'm doing 2 to 3 jobs, right? Because every project is like a separate job because you have a new set of people whom you are working with. So ultimately, it's the people who define what your experiences are. And I have been through situations where I didn't like my job at all because probably those were not the right set of people whom I was working with. But then it suddenly changes after 2 to 3 months. Also, guys, like when you broke into your careers, right, what will you suggest to people who are looking for similar jobs in terms of like searching for opportunities? So, do they go through the online sources like LinkedIn in order to find similar profiles, or they leverage the referrals from people who are already working in your respective companies? What is the right way to get the jobs which you are doing?
It's about the contacts. Like I was able to establish a relationship while working with Adobe through Deloitte. And that's what helped me land a job here.
Your reputation travels faster than your resume. Every relationship that you build within and outside of your ecosystem is important. It's going to help you in some way.
Thanks a lot for that answer, guys. And it's been wonderful. Like, genuinely, I'm saying it's been wonderful having you on this podcast and getting your answers across. So, thanks a lot for sharing your experiences and insights, and not only on career, but on relationships as well.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for having us. It was pleasure talking to you, Arnav. This is a great, great initiative, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity. If any of our experiences can help anyone, that will be great for us.
I'm sure it will. Thanks a lot.